Lady Michelle Obama recently spoke out at a New Hampshire campaign event for Hillary Clinton, where she discussed Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's remarks regarding his alleged sexual harassment of women. Now, if you haven't heard Michelle's powerful speech, here's a clip.
I have to tell you that I listen to all of this, and I feel it so personally. And I'm sure that many of you do too, particularly the women. The shameful comments about our bodies, the disrespect of our ambitions and intellect, the belief that you can do anything you want to a woman.
Wow. Powerful words, and they're so true. Now, to me, this is so much bigger than politics. This is an issue that many women have to deal with every day, and we need to we need this call to action to let people know it won't be tolerated anymore.
Yeah.
And this is really personal to me because I've experienced this. You know, I pretty much grew up in the music industry since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is it was almost like common knowledge. Like, guys are going to hit on you.
Yep.
You know, you have to learn at a very young age, sadly, how to handle that, how to handle men in power or producers that, you know, make you feel like you need something from them or they can help your career. So you're made to feel like, okay, how do I handle this one?
Right.
Where I don't feel disrespected, but at the same time, I don't offend them because you're worried if you offend them, then that you may lose an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's such a sad and scary place to be. And even worse is those young women that didn't know how to handle it, who maybe weren't witty enough to play the ha ha ha, but we're staying here with it. And then sadly they go through with it and you never hear their albums, their records never come out. Or they did what was asked of them and then they get tossed.
Still didn't get right.
They get tossed like yesterday's garbage because the conquest is over. That's not cool. I hate that it was almost made to seem like that's just something that's going to happen. You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But do we have to take that? Do we have to deal with it?
No. First of all, I've dealt in, because I'm a comic and I was also an engineer, both of those industries are male-dominated.
Yeah.
And I've had men that there's a difference between flirting, because when a man flirts with you, you can say, no, thank you, and he'll leave you alone. Harassment is totally different.
Yes.
It's like saying you grabbing me or you're going to do this or you say no. It's something totally different. We have to distinguish that. What I was proud of is that I went and talked to some of my male friends, and they were comics, people like that, and they were like, we don't do this type of talk.
No.
And I was so proud of the friends that I know,
Yes.
because for them to be a man and say, no, this is not how all men act. I think it was a great example.
Exactly. I think sadly people try to pass it off as, oh, this is just something men do. This is locker room talk. This is whatever. But, like, I even experienced an executive that would kiss me on the lips. Like, if he saw me going through the hallways, it would be like, hi. And I'd
Did
be
you
like,
ever, turn?
At first, the first time it happened, if I'm very honest, I thought it was an accident.
Okay.
So when you're younger and you're a teenager,
That's how it starts.
You think, has that ever happened to somebody where you go to give a kiss to somebody and you're like, sorry.
I do the dodge.
But no, it consistently happened to the point where I was like, this ain't cool, man. Like, now he knows I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
Which is not okay. Obviously, that happened then. I would never allow that to happen now.
Right.
But a lot of women are in fear. And you ask yourself, well, why do they let them get away with it?
Right.
Fear has a big part to do with it. And two, these men are usually
famous.
Because you're famous, you
can get away with it.
can get away with it.
But it's not always even that. Sadly, it spans very wide across many cultures where it's okay. I remember the first time I went to a club in Palo Alto. It was called The Edge. And I was so excited because, I was going with my girlfriends. When the girls get ready, you got the music on. I put on some cute leggings, and I had, my T-shirt I cropped. I thought I was looking fly.
Right.
And I walked into the club, and it was super crowded. And I remember as I was walking to the table where my girlfriends were at, and I was a teenager, right? I felt my boob just, like my breast, get grabbed. And I was like, what? Whoa, that was weird. And you're shocked. When it first happens to you, you don't, I didn't know how to react. I just was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of go, okay, it's really crowded. There's a lot of people. I'm swimming through people, so it's fine. And then the next thing I know, another guy reached under, in between, right underneath, and just grabbed. And I felt things.
Are you
I'm not kidding you.
serious?
And I immediately turned around and I saw him. I knew exactly what it was because I saw the hand and I grabbed his hand. I was like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
And he turned to me and he said, why are you dressed like that? Don't you want some attention?